And so today we're going to be diving into the September 2022 reading for all you water signs out there. So hello, Cancer and Pisces and Scorpio, all our little watery friends, either sun, moon, rising, or perhaps things are swimming elsewhere in your chart. Welcome, welcome. All right, and if you don't know about me, my name is Tara. I'm with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. You can check out the description box down below. You'll find my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com, as well as my Patreon page, my YouTube membership, Leon Mystery School, Desert Cauldron, newsletter, lots of good stuff, which, by the way, with the newsletter comes out on the 1st, so that's next week. I don't play the spam game or anything, so you just get a newsletter once a month. If you're interested, lots of witchy goodness in there. And there's over 300 people on that newsletter now, so I'm like, hey. Anywho, let's go ahead and get down to it. I have quite a few decks here, as well as my seashells, because I was thinking about, I always try to pair certain decks and the things that I use with the signs that I'm working with. And since we are working with water signs, I decided to find more of my more fluid-based water decks. So I am going to use the holographic tarot. I don't know, because I was like thinking of, like, you know, sometimes when there's oil on the water, you get that like holographic-y, rainbowy look. So, okay. So that's why I chose this deck. Butterfly, how are you? Good evening to you. I'm also going to use the Myths and Mermaids Oracle and the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. And of course, always, doesn't matter what we're reading, I'm going to use my Wally's World Oracle. And if you're interested in this deck, the link for that is down below. And lastly, I'm going to use my seashells because I do conchomancy, which is reading with seashells. And that's actually an offering that I have in my shop on my website, if you guys are interested. Okay, so I like to call in the elementals and go with the 4 elemental directions, just to kind of cleanse the space, make sure it's nice and clear, high vibes. All the messages that come through are for our best and highest good. I do encourage you guys to maybe bust out your decks as well, maybe tap in intuitively and put those messages in the comments so we can just expand upon the reading. That's why I love these live chats, for the interaction. Okay, so I have our little candle. It's starting to melt now. It's very ready for Samhain, for Halloween. My friend Annette got me 2 of these candles actually, and I couldn't wait for Samhain. So I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna burn one now because I want to see what it looks like. So it's got a red wax on the inside, so it makes it kind of look like they're bleeding. Kind of morbid, but whatever. Anywho, I'm gonna call in the element of fire, just to burn away anything in our space that might impede on our ability to read our cards today. Just soaking in that energy. And then I'm going to grab my little Palo Santo stick and we'll call in that element of air. Just like we have our air conditioning on right now because it's a little warm. I think it's still like 100 degrees right now. And Michelle, hello, hello. So there we go. Get that air going. Just blow out anything we don't need at this time. Palo Santo smells just so good, man. All right. Okay, and then I have a little bit of my moon water. This is actually monsoon water, so it's our Arizona monsoon water mixed with moon water and infused with my roses, hence it's got that little bit of color. You guys were 107 degrees today. I think that's what we were at today too. Hence why it's still 100 and something out there. I don't know. I'm in here in the AC, man. All right, so we'll use this monsoon water to just wash away any negativity, bad juju, stuff that's blocking our intuition. And you know what? A little bit for me because it just feels so good. Okay. Alrighty, and then for the earth element, Michelle says, I'm so ready for fall. Yeah, I'm like, bring down these temperatures, man. Like now that our monsoons are just like petering out here, now it's just hot. And there's still a little bit of humidity in the air, so it's just Just makes everything hotter. Butterfly said, not so hot here, but the humidity was at 78%. Ooh, ooh. That's a little muggy out there. All right, so for the earth element, I am using a wand that I created using an 80 million year old mosasaur tooth, and this is an Ethiopian opal that I've put here. I know it's got a lot of watery vibes to it, but also still kind of connected to the earth. So that's why I want to utilize this to bring in the four corners and our elementals. So, calling in the elementals of the north to help us to cast our circle today. And calling in the elementals of the east to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the south to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the west to help us to cast our circle today. The circle is cast, let our work begin. And so it is. All right, yay! Okay. Let's see. Miracles and Magic. Hey, what's up, girl? How are you? All right, you guys. So I have my little list of goodies here all cooked up for us. So I'm going to dive into a general elemental reading first for all of our water elements, no matter where they're swimming in our chart. So, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio rising. And then we'll go into cards for each of the signs. So a reading for Scorpio, a reading for Cancer, a reading for Pisces. And then that way, everything gets expanded. We'll look into some opportunities and blocks, and then we'll go into a viewer's poll. So everybody who's in the chat today will be able to vote on one of two questions for me to pull cards on, just to clarify even more things that we can look into for September. Then I have my little drum here so we can do our little healing. We'll close up the circle and do our gratitudes. All right, so I'm going to bust out Wally's World first, just for a little theme for the month of September for you guys. So if you guys want to bust out your cards too, you're more than welcome. Let us know what cards you're slinging, maybe what decks you guys are using. And if you get any intuitive hits off the cards that I've pulled, that's something that maybe I didn't see or I've missed, then go ahead and put it there in the comments, and that way we get a much more rich reading. Okay. So let's look at what Wally Walito has for us. If you don't know who Wally is, he's a little Siamese. He's my kitty, and he looks like a little puma. And he's in each of these cards as like a little spirit guide. So he's kind of hidden within there, just guiding you along. All right. So it looks like we have our card. Let's see what it has. Oh, okay. I know I put, let me see. All right. I'm just like looking around in here. Okay. So we have the Great Wall of China here, and this is actually an image I took back in, it was like 2009. I got to go to a few places. I was in Shanghai, I was in Beijing, I was in Suzhou, I was in Hangzhou. I was on an educator's tour with other teachers. So, all right, so let me dive into this one and kind of see, and actually if you're looking for Wally, he's right there. Angela, hello. And Michelle is a Cancer, Scorpio, Cancer Sun, Scorpio Moon, and Rising. Oh, wow. Miracle says, I see you are ready for Artemis mission on Monday. I love your shirt. Hey. Heck yeah. Yay. Okay, so let's channel what's going on in this card for our month ahead. September, water signs. Great Wall of China. Okay, so it appears that the main theme for September is asking you guys to start looking at anything that looks like division in friendships, in family, in countries, in, you know, circles of whatever sort, and start looking at how it may be just a perception of division. I keep saying perception because there needs to be a coming together. Instead of a me versus them, him versus her, left versus right, and start looking at who or what is in charge of that division. What is creating that division? And what is their purpose for it? What do they have to gain to create that division amongst the people, or amongst families, or amongst friends? What is to be gained from that division? Is there really a division, or is it perceived division? So we had a pretty big reading yesterday with the fire signs, and so today it looks like it's going to be a big month for you guys too, although they had something else that they were going to be working with. For you guys, it's all about almost like lifting the veil or lifting the curtain from something that we thought was just there. Oh, like, of course there's division. Of course there's left versus right. But it's like, is there really? Or has somebody put that in place? And if so, who and why? What are they gaining from people arguing with each other? You know, like I said, either within families, communities, or the world at large. All right, interesting with that Great Wall of China. And I have already gotten some intuitive hits, like starting last month actually, that the beginning of September would be interesting. I'll just say interesting, energetically, for everyone, you know, on this planet. It doesn't matter what your status is on this planet. It's just for all human beings, animals too, and plants. But just that, you know, we'd be waking up to certain things, seeing things that maybe were hard to see before, the beginning and mid-September, going on into October as well. So just thought I would put that out there. Let's see. So let's go back here. Angela said, open my Dark Goddess Oracle and Nyx fella. I love this deck. Not only is it a beautiful deck, the book contains affirmational spells. Nyx's keyword is respite. Respite. She's associated with the night and is said in some myths to be physically blind or obscure physical vision with a veil of shadows and stars, but she sees fully with her intuition and sees the soul seeing everyone as they are, not for the body, but for who they are within. So yeah, that definitely correlates, I think, you know, with being able to finally like lift that curtain, lift that veil, be able to see something that maybe it was hard to see before, you know, as if there was a, you know, perceived separation when actually there was no separation at all. So that's very interesting with Nyx coming out. Excellent. Thank you, Goddess. Okay, so let's bust out this holographic tarot. Let's pull a few cards for the month of September for my watery homies. Oh, let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is a deck that actually James got me. It's like super rad. I think it kind of looks like oil on water. So, all right, let's go ahead and give this a little shuffle. And let's just pull out a few cards here. What do we have for all our watery friends? What do we have cooked up for them for September 2022? What's going on with them? And I'm in that group. Like I said, I am a Scorpio rising, but I also have elsewhere in my chart. Like Cancer is in my Mars. Cancer is in Venus. Like, got a few Cancer placements. So very watery, but also very airy. Air and water. I guess that makes steam. Okay, let's pull one more card. Okay. Get in your box. Okay. Okay, so I have the cards face down. Let's take a look at them one by one. Nyx's affirmational spell from the book is Shadowed Figures Cross the Night. Secrets shared, no need for fright. Within her arms now rest and heal. Those to trust she will reveal. I like it. I like it, dudes. Dude, I like when the readings all connect up. Okay, so I have here the High Priestess. Speaking of Nyx and mysteries revealed. All right, and then we also have the Pentacles. I like to get that little holographic shine for you guys. Let's see, we also have the Seven of Swords. Interesting. Past few days, I'm stalked by the Seven of Swords. I even dreamt that I was doing tarot and I kept pulling out the Seven of Swords. So that's interesting. And then we have the Three of Cups here. Okay, so let me just do first the logical glance, making sure if there's any repeating numbers. We have a 3, a 7. So we have one major arcana card. We have one court card. And then we have swords, we have cups. Well, that court card is a pentacles. So we're missing fire from this reading. So we don't have any wands energy going on. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and channel what's going on in here. And yeah, we'll go from there. This sounds like good people and good times are on the horizon. Don't party too hard, guys. Yeah. All right, so again, it's that High Priestess, King of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and the Three of Cups. Okay. Okay, so yes, I was talking about earlier with our theme card being, the perceived divisions being revealed, that there weren't divisions at all. And perhaps there was something or someone or a group of someone's wanting to create that division or a perceived division, and then we'd want to find out why. But also, as our friend Angela was pointing out with her Nyx card that fell out, that there's other things being revealed, our shadow selves, our spirit, things like that, that there isn't really a division between spirit and human, that they are the same. But sometimes, even in spirituality, we tend to divide the two as if they're two separate entities, when really they're whole. They're just two different consciousnesses occupying the same space, being the exact same thing. And so keeping that in mind, anything that you're wanting to pursue in the month of September. So I don't know, you want to pursue working on your cooking skills, or maybe you even want to do something bigger. You want to get a new job, or maybe you want to pursue a relationship or something like that. Our ego will want to find out the logical way to get that done. And this is a little bit similar to what I was talking about yesterday with our fire signs. Our ego is going to say, okay, so you want to get a job, and you want to get a job here, doing this particular thing. Okay, well, you're going to need to do this, 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 and this. Let's take a look at how much money you're going to make. Okay, this, 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 and this. Okay, that's all well and good, but where's the heart in it? Where's the intuition in it? We sometimes forget that we are not two separate beings. We're not a spirit and a human, but we're one and the same. And therefore, we need to look at things dualistically. So yes, there's the logic, taking a look at all those things, but then there's also the intuition that needs to take a look at all those things as well. Is that even a job that's in alignment with me? Or am I just going after it because of the money? And if I'm going after it because of the money, what does the money actually represent? That's then what you're actually going after, not the money itself. And so that's that Seven of Swords that I was getting, is that that's a little bit tricky energy with the ego. It wants to lead you down a direction of ego logic, which may not be for your best and highest good. in order to move towards something that is for your best and highest good, it's going to be a co-creation between your higher self and your human self, which are actually, like I said, one and the same. And also sharing with the people around you, that Three of Cups energy. Let's come together, let's think about it, let's intuit about it. And you can create some wonderful things and head off on some wonderful journeys in the month of September. And I'm also getting that with the High Priestess that I had pulled first, which is the downloads, those spiritual downloads, and being able to look at things from a higher, broader, eagle eye perspective, instead of here I am and I'm going to go this way and my ego tells me to go this way and I can only see so far because my ego doesn't have an intuition, so I can't really see all the possibilities and all the opportunities. So the world seems very, very small and very, very tiny. But then when we realize that, hey, I'm also a, fourth, fifth, 13th dimensional being, then all of a sudden the world becomes much larger. Our opportunity is much more broad, and we end up having a lot more fun. So have fun in September. Don't let the ego take you for a trip. Remember that you are a dualistic being, and go about your days, your weeks, your months that way, and see how much more adventure you may have, how much more fun you may have in the month, and so much more to learn about yourself and the world around you as well. All right. I can dig it. Yeah, all right, cool beans, you guys. So, on that note, let's go ahead and pull some seashells, since I said I like to do conchomancy, and I figured, hey, what better time to bust out my conchomancy skills than with my water signs. So, let me grab my shells here. And these are the shells that I always use for my conchomancy readings on my website. So I like when people get these readings, get some shells. And these are all ones that I have collected, over the years that I have lived by the ocean, and now I'm in the desert. But so my seashells are even more precious to me. But I'm going to pull a seashell for each of the water zodiac signs, so we can get an even more individualized reading for you guys. So we already have kind of an overall theme. We have some overall energy. Let's get more specific. Okay, so Angela said the mermaid deck did bring up those shells last time I was here. I love when things connect. Hey! Heck yeah. All right, so let's who should we pull for first? Let's go with Pisces first. Do we have any Pisces in the house? Maybe sun, moon, rising, maybe hanging out in your Venus somewhere. Maybe Mars or Mercury. So any Pisces in the house? I myself do not have any Pisces in my chart. Angela said, I'll grab another goddess card, but I'll leave Nyx on the table. I feel like she wants to sit on the desk and watch over us. And Butterfly says, I'm going to have to watch that section back. That High Priestess has been popping up too often, and I'm still confused and overthinking it. Wow. Oh, all right. So is it Gina that's on, or Gina's watching? Or is it your mom that's watching? All right. So let's go with Pisces. Oh, that's right. You're saying Gina's a Pisces. Duh. That's right. If you guys don't know, that's one of my best friends, Miracles and Magic, that's there. So, and one of her daughters is Gina. So, anywho, let's go with Pisces. What do we got here? Okay, I think I have my seashell. Sorry. I like to keep them all up in their shell. It's easier to put in my hands. Okay. So, all right, so I have this little green seashell here for our little Pisceans. Okay, so let me connect with this one and see what this means for Pisces. Oh my gosh, okay. My higher self is how do we say, has a lot more sassy tone than I do. Or maybe it's just my ego that has less of a sassy tone than my higher self. But so I will change up the words, but I'll give the same message. So there is a lot of opportunity, like a lot of opportunity, like a ridiculous amount of, you can do whatever you want in September. You know, you want to make the money, is there. You want to, you know, get the romance on, it's there. You know, you want to have a good time with your friends, it's there. Like whatever, you know, it's your little movie that you're creating. You can do it, Pisces. However, the message is also connected to the main message that we're getting with, you know, how that King of Pentacles wants to go do some things, but that Seven of Swords, the ego, is just going to lead you in a very narrow minded direction with a very narrow scope of the world, and you won't be able to see all those opportunities. So, okay, I will just say it how my higher self said it. So my higher self said, get the head out of the derriere, or in this case, out of the ego, and try and connect to your higher self as best as possible, which means really keep yourself as grounded as possible. I know that's going to be maybe a chore for some of our more watery folk out there, which means it's even more important for you guys to ground yourselves, connect to your higher self, and whatever decision or whatever thing that you want to go do, or the thing that you want to create, or the person that you want to date, or the romance you want to have, connect to that higher self. And is this for my best and highest good? Let's share it with the people around us. Let's broaden our scope. Let's broaden our view of things. Let's bring in those opportunities, because those opportunities are there and waiting for you to have a really bomb month, a really good month. But if we allow the ego to figure out all the logistics, like, oh, well, you can only do this if you do this, this, and this. Okay, that's great. If all we lived in was a 3D world that didn't have overlapping dimensions and worlds, and that we had no spirit inside of us, okay, then maybe that would make sense. But that's not how things are. We just know this as humans. So the opportunities are there. Know when the ego is speaking, and know when your higher self is speaking, which means you're going to have to get into a really good relationship with your higher self, so that you know which voice is actually coming through, because you can have yourself a really, really, really good month. All right, so that's for Pisces. Okay, I can dig it. Let's see. Okay, so Angela says, Ran came out of the deck. Her keyword is abuse. Oof, don't like that word, but perhaps that is what the respite and protection of Nyx is from. Anyone that may use or hurt you. I don't know much about her, so I had to check the book. According to the book, she's of Norse origin, and it is a wild, alluring, beautiful, no-nonsense goddess of the sea's destructive side. Probably why maybe also my higher self was getting a little sassy too. Okay, so, okay, all right. It's good messages, good messages. Let's look at Cancers. So, like I said, I don't have Cancer as my sun, moon, or rising, but I do have it, you know, pinching around elsewhere in my chart, in Venus, in Mars, Gemini's in Mercury in my chart. But yeah, so just a little bit of Cancer action going on. So do we have any Cancers in the house? Any sun, moon, rising? Perhaps it's elsewhere. Oh, okay, so Angela's looking up her affirmation spell. Okay. So let's take a look at Cancer while we're doing this. And if you are a Cancer, sun, moon, or rising, definitely let us know. Oh, okay. So I had a seashell fall out. I feel like that's for our Cancers. So I'm going to put these other seashells down again. Kind of got to be careful with them because they are brittle. They are little seashells. Okay, so her affirmation spell is destructive action, harm, abuse, cruelty, violence. There's no excuse. Defense is down. Soften the heart. Compassion aids a kind new start. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, bring down those defenses. Sometimes those defenses, like our theme card that we had at the very beginning, sometimes those defenses are against ourselves. Sometimes it's not external. So Angela said, I am a Cancer sun, though I was born at night under the watchful eye of the moon, so I think it overlaps my sun too, though I'm not sure of my chart. Okay, all right. I was trying to think, because I do Mayan astrology as well. I'm a Mayan astrologer, teach Mayan astrology. And sometimes under the Mayan astrology chart, you may have different elements going on. So for me, mostly in Western astrology, I'm mostly air with some water sprinkled in, a little bit of fire, and absolutely no earth. But if you look at my Mayan astrology chart, I'm all fire. So okay. So I think it's interesting to look at different astrologies too. Okay, so the shell that came through is this teeny little clam here. And much like our Cancers, that hardened protective shell, protecting the very soft, vulnerable insides that once lived inside of this shell. So let's dive into this one with our Cancers. Get it? Dive into them. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting that, remember that general, when we're just kind of looking generally at the energy of the month for the water signs, how there's this veil to be lifted or curtain to be lifted about our perceived division when perhaps there was none to begin with, and perhaps some division was put there on place by an energy, entity, person, whatever it may be. So my Cancers out there, having that very hardened shell, even having those little little claws to protect you, always walking sideways, shifty, want to get out of the situation quickly, protecting yourself, the very vulnerable inside self. This too is an act of division. Always being on the defense. Who's out there trying to hurt me? Who's out there trying to, take me down? Who's out there trying to one-up me somewhere? And although we should have a bit of, shields, we should have shields up, energetically speaking, and we should perhaps not be so naive, like let's say I would never walk down a dark alley all by myself at like 10 o'clock at night in like the sketchiest part of town. Like, gotta have some common sense there, of course. But to always be on the defense, to always be in that mindset of there's somebody out there to get me, somebody's, trying to screw me over, somebody's, wanting to do this, that really is more hurtful to ourselves than we may realize, because it prevents us from diving into beautiful opportunities, meeting wonderful people, going into situations that may be uncomfortable at first, but then we find out they help us grow, and we have learned something beautiful about ourselves, and we, gain new talents, new skills for our toolbox. We miss out on those things if we're constantly on the defense, if we constantly divide ourselves from the rest of the world. And maybe some of that may be stemming from some past traumas, past childhood stuff, or maybe there were people, maybe there were situations that really did hurt you. But to take what happened in the past and bring it into your present, where those bullies, those people, whoever it was that may have hurt you, they're no longer hurting you. So why continue to suffer in the present? Why continue to bring that into the present? So it looks like there might be some healing for you, Cancer, taking a look at being more conscious or consciously aware of, as you move out, do your thing in the world, when do you catch yourself being on the lookout? When do you catch yourself being wary of those around you? people that maybe want to do good things for you, and then you're wondering, why are they doing that? What do they want from me? You know, if somebody bakes you cookies, what do they want from me? You know, instead of, wow, that was a really nice gesture from that person. So if you catch yourself doing that, that's where we can do a little bit of a walk backwards. Okay, where is that stemming from? Where is that really coming from? Why do I feel that somebody's always trying to take something from me or get something from me or trying to hurt me in a particular way? So you have a wonderful opportunity, Cancer, for a lot of healing. And to recognize that we don't always have to have that Great Wall of China dividing us from the rest of the world. And although, yes, you know, I am not naive enough to believe that there aren't people out there who wish to harm people, and they might have cruel intentions, but that's not the entire world. And I can't believe that that would be even most of the world. I do have to believe that there are people out there with the best of intentions. And if we switched our mindset from the world as a dark, cruel place to the world as a beautiful, loving place, our whole environment changes. So Cancer, some work, some work. All right, so let's go back here. Angela said, now I read the spell, I felt a block a bit lift. I understand why Ron and I share now. She wants us to not let any nonsense get to us, but also warns us to not to hide in the sea and shut the world out. Or see everyone as a threat. Not everyone is out there to hurt you. You sure this world is full of jerks, but it's full of kindness too, and that counts for more no matter how stormy the sky and stars, the sun, the moon, whether you favor day or night, peace never fully leaves. Yes, and Charlie, hey, how are you? Sumi says, I refuse to eat anyone's cookies. They might be poison. Oh my goodness. Well, you know, also, that's where the intuition comes in. You know, somebody's handing you something, how do you feel about them? You know, we're definitely look at that too. Remember, we can't always just be looking with the logical mind. And some people, you might be like, maybe I'm not going to eat those cookies. And other people are like, oh heck yes, just leave those cookies over here. Yes, please. I will have all of those. Let's see, Angela said, I love cookies, but not oatmeal, raisin, applesauce cookies. You know, I like oatmeal minus the raisins. All right, we are down to, Sumi's like, here you go, girl. Well, Sumi's not a stranger. I suppose I could take the candy. Okay, so let's pull for Scorpio. All right, Scorpios. Where are my Scorpios at? I know Sumi's Scorpio. We got a Scorpio sitting over there. A Scorpio's rising in me. And I also have, I think Scorpio's in Pluto for me too, which is probably where my fascination with the macabre is coming from. But anyway. All right, so let's pull a shell for our Scorpios. All right. Let's see what I got here. Ooh. All right. So we have this very interesting little shell that's actually turned more into stone than it is shell. So for me, this represents the earth element, you know, if I were doing a full-on conchomancy reading. But let's dive into this and what this means for Scorpio. Okay. All right, messages coming in. So oftentimes when we think of our water signs, or we think of water in general, we think of fluidity, we think of emotions, we think of intuition, we think of relationships. But mostly what I'm focusing on right now is the intuition. And so for Scorpios out there, whatever intuitive hits that you are getting throughout the month of September, you know, obviously we said we are human and we are also spirit, but we're also one and the same. And we want to navigate our world as such. That with intuitive hits, when you truly ground your intuition, there's a lot of magic that could happen from that. However, when we try to ground the ego, that's a lot harder to do. So if you find it being difficult, or you find it difficult to ground your intuitive hits, or to ground your higher self, to ground your intuition, perhaps that's not what you're grounding at all. Perhaps it's the ego disguising itself as the voice of your higher self, as the voice of your intuition. So things are shifting and changing. You know, the way we receive our intuition for a lot of people is shifting and changing. And if that can shift and change, so too can the ego. And the ego's voice may change. And so if we've been trying to learn how to understand our new use for new intuitive abilities, then we also have to listen to how the voice of the ego has changed, because it can very easily disguise itself as the voice of your intuition if you haven't learned to discern the two in this new era of energy that we're in. So just like we may have already been trying to learn, okay, so this is the voice of my higher self speaking, this is the voice of my ego speaking. Well, things are a cycle, things change, which means those two voices are going to sound a little bit different. They're going to interact differently. So we have to, again, work on discerning them once again. So if you want things to happen, you really want to get this or get that or meet this person or whatever it may be, when you try and ground that intuition into Mama Gaia, try to ground that higher self, and if you find there's a block there, it doesn't seem to be working, perhaps that wasn't the higher self at all. And so there's a learning experience for you guys, really understanding your ego versus the higher self. And that's a big thing, you know, because it helps us to better navigate the world. It helps us to manifest more easily when we're more discerning of the two voices. So that seems to be something that's going to be a major thing for Scorpios out there. All right. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. That's something actually I hadn't even thought of. Yeah. If intuition's changing, why wouldn't the ego shift and change too? Interesting. Alrighty. Okay, so on that note, let's go ahead and take a look at Arkansas quartz. And we'll look at some opportunities and blocks. But hey, dude, can we just take a moment and just tap into that, baby? Ooh. It kind of looks like a humpback whale in there. That's cool. All right. Beautiful. All right. That was it right there. Help us out with the rest of our readings. Okay. And now I'm going to pull out the Myths and Mermaids Oracle deck. And let's take a look at those blocks and opportunities for September. Okay. So here are the back of those cards. With these decks, either people love Jasmine Beckett Griffith's art, or they don't. Me, I don't mind it. I don't mind the girls with the big heads and the big eyeballs. I don't know what world they come from, but they're okay with me. Okay, so let's pull some cards for those opportunities and blocks. Okay, and let's pull a block. Okay, all right. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let me go back here. Oh, Michelle. Hey, how are you? Angela said, Ekigana made an appearance. She came up reversed because she tipped as she came out, but I set her upright. She is another one I am unfamiliar with, so again I had to reference the book. She is the Aboriginal Dreamtime snake and primordial mother of humanity in the mythos. Love Mother Goddess energy. I love snakes. I don't see them as negative. Snakes slip through cracks much smaller than themselves. They are graceful, not aggressive, but will bite. Time to shed an old skin and make sure you take care of you. Perhaps get in touch with the mother or mother figures. Perhaps your matron or patron. Maybe pay attention to your dreams a bit more. Also the depiction on the card, I feel the need to describe. They, I think, are based off of Big eye style dolls, your cards, yes. Which I have seen those. Oh, actually, this one doesn't have the, it's the one card that doesn't have the big eyed doll on it. She is depicted as a woman with serpent's tail, sunbathing in the dawn and releasing a dove to fly from her. Beautiful. Well, you know, actually, my matron goddess, my matron deity, she's Ishel, and she's often depicted with a snake on her head. And that was something that any sort of medicine person or healing person was seen with in a lot of the Mayan mythos, because of the snake's ability to shed its skin as almost a seemingly to heal. And also from snake venom, you do find a healing potion from that. So snake was very important to those practicing medicine or practicing the healing arts. So yeah, I do often see snake not as a negative, and I'm not scared of snakes, actually. Actually, I have some snake skin that's like hanging underneath my altar there. It says her keyword is health, by the way, and her affirmation spell is it is coming. And while you work on the affirmation spell, I was finding our block for the month of September. See, deep down the body always knows, ignore to welcome in more woes, seek a cure, advice is trust, in trust, don't be proud, good health a must. Nice. Dude, these readings are just like pairing up. I love you guys. Okay, so we have flying fish. All right, so let's see how this could be a block. And I just now realized this is a water reading for the water signs. Flying fish comes up. Just anyway, I know it's a Myths and Mermaids deck, but still, fish. Pisces. Okay. All right. So one particular block that we could encounter in the month of September is, you know, again, if we allow the ego to take over and guide our ship and say, oh, you can only do this and these are the only outcomes that you can get if you go down this path, you know, because there's absolutely no intuition in the ego. And the ego may tell you, not out of any sort of anger, spite, or it's not trying to put you down, but remember, it just doesn't have a very broad scope of the world, and thus it doesn't have a very broad scope of who you truly are, because it can't see your fifth dimensional self, your spirit self, you know, so it really can't see us entirely for who we are. So who is it to be making the decisions for us if it doesn't even know who we are in our wholeness? And so with flying fish, I was getting that the ego may tell us that we can't do something. Oh, you're not smart enough for that. Oh, you're not talented enough for that. Oh, you can't do that because you've never done it before. So therefore, why would you think you'd be able to do it now? You know, I'm just looking at the past. That's where the ego gets all its information, is from the past. But what the heck does the past have to do with an all-seeing spirit who can look fully into the present, look at who you fully are, and look fully into the future? So we can create any sort of magic we want to create. We can be whoever we want to be. Maybe, let's take mathematics. I don't know why mathematics popped in my head. Maybe because I consider myself maybe not that great at mathematics, but I know that at one time I was good at mathematics, so therefore it has nothing to do with my intelligence level, but more to do with my own ego mental block. I decide I'm not good at math, therefore I'm not good at math. But if I were to open up myself up and say, you know what, today I'm great at math. I bet you if I were to work on some math problems, do some percentages, I would have a lot easier time doing it by telling myself I am good at it, I can do this, than I would if I said, Mom, man, I'm crap at this, I'm no good at this. So that could be a possible block, my little watery friends, is that we may tell ourselves we can't do particular things and we end up hindering our own opportunities and our own progress because we just decide that's just the way it is. Oh, that's just me. Oh, that's just my personality. Okay, but knowing you can be whoever you want to be any minute, any day, do you want to continue being that person or do you want to be something else? If you're upset by the fact that you haven't been able to do X, Y, or Z in the past, well, then what's preventing you from doing it in the present? You know, it's only, for the most part, our perception. So, and that is something that we can overcome. Perception is something that we can overcome. So this is a block that we can transmute. Flying fish. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Angela said that fish is gorgeous. I know, right? Love all the colors. All right, so let's take a look at our opportunity then for September. Ooh, we have Golden Mermaid. Beautiful. She's just chilling there with her little golden tail. Okay. All right, so opportunities, you know, like I was talking about for Pisces, they got all kinds of stuff, opportunities, abundance, you know, that they could be having in the month of September. Not to say that, you know, nobody else would. I'm just saying they'd be more inclined to. And so with this Golden Mermaid here, there are more opportunities to be had, and there's more fun to be had in September if we look at everything as if everything in our life, everything about us, as if it was decked in gold. Like looking in the mirror, instead of looking in the mirror and going, am I having a bad hair day? Maybe I'll just put my hair up in a little clip. You know, instead of looking at all the little flaws or whatever perceived flaws about ourselves, our little human suit, as if that matters. What if I looked in the mirror and all I saw was a freaking goddess? Just gold. Like all of a sudden my hair is gold, my clothes are gold. Heck, maybe my skin is gold. I have gold eyes, just, you know, gold everything. And everything in my bathroom, even my mirror, is gold. And I'm looking at my golden reflection on a golden freaking mirror. And everything around me, my friends are gold, my boyfriend's gold, the sun is gold. And it becomes this beautiful, regal, abundant, rich place. What if we looked at everything that way? You know, man, the abundance that we could bring in even more because we know and we would be grateful for the abundance that we're already surrounded by. We'd look at the beauty already around us, and that only invites in more. But if we look at everything as less than, it's no good, I'm no good, man, my hair is no good today, then we bring in more of that. So let's be the Golden Mermaid to bring in those opportunities to have a lot more fun in September. Look at everything as if it's been touched by gold, which is solar plexus energy, by the way. So touched in strength, abundance, power, beauty. All right, I can dig it. Yeah, I can dig that. All right, so let's take a look at the viewer's choice. So everybody who's in the chat right now, you have a chance to vote on one of two questions. All right, and I am going to use the Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards. Hey, Catherine, how are you? Sumi says, that's what I said last night in my email. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Yes. Yes. Dude. Synchronicities. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Stop worrying, caring, live. Exactly. I do remember, and you said that at the very end of the email, that you were just gonna live. You were just gonna do your thing. Just, you know, why worry? Catherine says, I'm looking forward to fall. Here, 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 here. Angela said we had Skyla come up, the sister of Charybdis in mythology. She was said to haunt rocks along a narrow waterway, and sailors who strayed too close, not listening, lost whole ships and were lost to her. Yes, the Scylla. I was thinking Skyla, but yes, it's the Scylla or Scylla. That was actually something when I would read the Odyssey with my high school students. It was with my freshmen. The Odyssey was actually one of their fave stories. They actually really loved the Charybdis, and they loved the Scylla or the Scylla, sometimes they'd call it. They're like, oh, it's the many-headed dragon. Then you had like the whirlpool, and just good times. Oh, Catherine says I have a new black rescue kitty. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. If you guys don't know, obviously it's in my name, Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. I have a soft spot for cats, so I'm just saying. Angela said, hunger, feel like there is no need for drama with our opportunity. It may make waves, but don't become something you are not when you get success. She's depicted as a mermaid with sharp teeth and a sea serpent's tail in this card. Whoa. Whoa. I like it. I like it. Good messages. And Sumi said, Black Kitty resonates. I know. Oh, yeah. And if you guys don't know, Sumi has a black kitty named Kitty. Angela said her affirmation spell is, it is coming. Oh, Ilsa, hello. Says, I love cats. However, I'm extremely allergic to them. Oh, no. That's like a catch-22. Loves the kitties, but the kitty allergens don't love you. Aww. You know what? I would go anyway, because there's been, I think, only one cat in my whole life I was like allergic to, and it was a long-haired cat. But I didn't care. I would endure my stuffy nose and my itchy ears and my itchy watery eyes. Like, I love you anyway. Okay, so you guys have time to vote. All right. So this is how it goes. I will read you guys 2 questions. If you guys love the first question, vote with a red heart emoji, or if you don't have emojis available, just type the words red heart. If you like the second question, vote with a green heart emoji, or just type the words green heart. I'll play a little Jeopardy music, sort of, and then I'll count up the number of hearts. The winning color wins. So technically wins. I mean, it's all win-win. They're good questions, I think. Anywho, okay, so Angela's, the spell was attention please, all eyes on me, 'tis what all others really see. Exaggerating is not a fact, life should not be one big act. I love it. All right, okay, so here you guys go. Here's your chance to vote. Question 1, what is the best thing I can do for myself this month? So a little bit of self-care. What is the best thing that you guys can do for yourself this month? If you like that question, vote with a red heart emoji or the words red heart. Question 2, what area of my life am I having the hardest time allowing change? What area of my life am I having the hardest time allowing change? If you like that question, vote with a green heart emoji or the words green heart. Okay, we got a green vote over there already. So again, red heart, what is the best thing I can do for myself this month? Green heart, what area of my life am I having the hardest time allowing change? All right, here we go. Do 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 do. Boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom. Okay, looks like we have some votes in. You guys go ahead and continue putting in votes if you would like. Angela said, I love cats, but I have family members who break in hives from just the hair, so I have plush cats. Aw, that's a bummer. Oh my goodness. Well, eventually, when I have a home, I need to have kitties. I must have kitties. I must. And maybe a doggy too. And maybe some goats. And maybe some horses. You know, let's just bring all the animals for wherever I will live. I'm just gonna bring all the animals. Okay, so let's count up those hearts, you guys. So we have one red heart from Catherine, one red heart from Angela, and then over here we have one green heart from Butterfly, two green hearts from Ilsa, three green hearts from Michelle. So 2-3 plus James's vote, that is 4-2. 4-2 green hearts to red. It says you should get a crystal cat for now. Oh, I do actually. I have a few crystal cats up on my altar. One's gold sheen obsidian, and the other one is obsidian, just like plain obsidian. So yeah, I got my little kitties up there. Angela said I've seen beautiful crystal cat statues, and I've done crystal searches lately. Nice. Yeah, of course. I gotta have crystal kitties. Okay. So green. Green was our winning vote. What area of our life are we having the hardest time allowing change? Let's find this out, you guys. All right. What area of our life are we having the hardest time allowing change? Ooh, and Angela got 2 goddess cards this time. Okay, what area of our life are we having the hardest time allowing change? All right, I think I got my card too. Everyone, okay, Angela said everyone choose left or right. Right. I choose right. Okay. Ooh. Freedom. And look at that beautiful dragonfly. And actually, the other day when we were at a place called the Mesquite Wash, it's out in the boonies in the middle of the desert, but there's beautiful, beautiful little wash that runs there. Lots of trees, obviously, just kind of in that area. And I got to see a couple of dragonflies hovering on a stick that was near the wash, where there was tons of little tadpoles kind of swimming around. It was amazing. So nice to see dragonfly coming back in again with that watery energy. And Michelle says, love your shirt. Yes. We got astronauts riding unicorns in outer space under a rainbow, of course. All right. Michelle has chosen left. I chose right. Okay. So what area of our life are we having the hardest time allowing change? And we have freedom. Let me dive into this one. When it comes to our freedom of choice, you might be asking, why would I be fearful, or why would I be blocking my freedom of choice? Because as they say, with freedom or power comes great responsibility. And so with that freedom of choice, which is a power, you're using your throat chakra, you're using your heart, you're also using your solar plexus energy in order to make those decisions. And with every decision we make, there's always a repercussion or consequence or reaction, something that comes because of that decision. And so oftentimes when it comes to making a decision, we might defer. Let that person make the decision, or I'm going to try as long as possible to not make a decision so somebody else just ends up making it for me. And you might be wondering, why would somebody allow their power to be taken away from them? You know, hence our freedom is our power, our voice is our power, choice is our power. Why would somebody want their power taken away? These could be some of the reasons. If I don't actually make the choice and I don't like the outcome, I can blame someone else. That's somebody else's fault. That's no responsibility of mine. I absolve myself of all responsibility. That was the other person. Or let's say in a broader perspective, perhaps in a family or in our community, I choose not to make a choice. And that's actually a choice to not make a decision. You are choosing to actually allow somebody else to dictate what your life is going to be like. And many people, and this is not to put anyone down, just many people often don't want to be in the driver's seat. They don't want to have that freedom of choice because they know that I'm going to have to take responsibility for whatever my choices are. And not all these choices have to be grave choices, you know. Sometimes they're just little choices, like little things like, what do you want for dinner? Or do you want to drive or should I drive today? You know, it's the little things. And sometimes it even boils down to that. We're so used to allowing others to make all the decisions for us that we decide, even down to the minutia, still you make the decision. And if I decide I didn't like dinner, well, I didn't choose it. If I don't like the way the person is driving, then I get to criticize them all I want because I'm not the person driving, you know. So now I get to say, oh no, you missed that, or you didn't do that. And so in a way, it's the ego's way of keeping itself safe. If I never have to make a choice, and I never need to assume responsibility for that choice, then I'm safe. Then I also, I never make mistakes that way too. And that makes me stay perfect. I get to stay perfect, flaw-free, because there might be a shadow somewhere in there where I always have to be perfect. I always have to be flawless. I always have to be good, you know, because maybe we were taught that it's bad to make mistakes. You know, in school, people, and I know this because I was a teacher and also I was in school, there were students that were very, very scared to be called on. They didn't want to be called on for an answer because, oh my gosh, what if I got it wrong? What if I get it wrong? The teacher's probably going to think I'm dumb. People are going to laugh at me. But really, this is all perception. And if you never voice what you think the answer is, and maybe it's the right answer, maybe it's not the right answer, but you learn, you grow, you know. And let's look outside of school. You know, if we don't make choices, if we don't stand our ground in those choices, we don't accept responsibility for those choices, we never grow. If you don't make mistakes, you don't grow. You know, if you let everybody else make all the choices for you, you stay in a very inhibited state where everybody else around you grows because they're the ones making the decisions, and you stay here where it's deemed safe by the ego. And that's, again, which brings us back to, who's the one in charge here? Is it the ego or is it the higher self? Because I guarantee you, your higher self is going to want to make some decisions. It's going to want that freedom. But the ego is scared because it doesn't have an intuition. All it knows is the past. And if you're asking me a question about the present, I didn't learn it in the past, so I don't know the answer, so I don't want to answer. I don't want to make a decision. So to answer the question, what area of our life are we having the hardest time in changing and growing, is the making the decision. So whenever you might feel a little fearful about making decisions, remember it's a beautiful thing to be even have the ability to have that freedom to make that decision. And so what if it's wrong? Who cares? Now you know not to go that way. Now you know not to have that for dinner. You know, we grow, we change, and it's okay. So something to take a look at. I love it. I love all the eyes here too on the wings. Oh my gosh, such a beautiful card. This is a beautiful deck, by the way. Let's go back here. Okay, so some people are voting for Angela. Angela says, we're tied so far. One vote for right, one vote for left. So Ilsa voted right. Angela says it remains tied. I'll flip both. Butterfly voted left though. Angela said still tied. Catherine voted left. Says left has one person. Lead in this. Anyone who wants to put in something. Okay, so left is flipped. It's Fortuna. Fate. Fate is her keyword. And Zanetta said exactly. Angela said, I checked the other that didn't win out for curiosity, and it was temptation. So wow, that was wow. Angela said, Fortuna is depicted woman walking in a forest. Half of her pictured in, half of her in color. She wears a vivid red gown, and the other half of the picture is in monochrome, and the dress is black. Fate isn't fickle. It may seem that way. She seems like she says we can choose our own path, choice, and are guided to our own fate with our choices. We can choose where we go. And Catherine says, okay, that tracks. I have to make a big health decision. Oh my goodness. Angela said, we learn from the happy times as much as the monochrome, as much from what we choose as what we don't choose. And Michelle said, good readings. Yeah, all around. You guys, fantastic. See, that's why we do live chats. So we can all, you know, put our 2 cents in, our intuition in, and we get some massive, like, synchronicities, like, good messages. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay. All right, you guys, we have come to the healing portion of our chat this evening. And I have my drum here. Fortuna's affirmation spell is, and while you guys are getting ready for this healing, if you want to get somewhere that's nice and cozy, maybe like the hard-ass floor that I'm on. No, you don't have to be on a hard floor. You can be on the couch, you can be laying down on the bed, you can be sitting on the bed, you can be sitting on the carpet, wherever is comfortable for you. I'm going to take you through a little quick guided meditation. We'll think about all the things that we said tonight. Anything that resonated with you, think about how maybe you want to apply that for September. And if we're going to be bringing something in, then we've got to release something too. So we'll just work on that. This is all for you, all about you, for the next about 5 minutes or so. And I will do a little bit of drumming, just to kind of get us all dropped into our higher self. Okay, so the affirmation spell is enslaved to Rhoda Fortuna, brought down low, thrown up high, circle of life, a clean new slate, choices made, now seal your fates. Sis, I swear, I had not read the spell before I wrote that. I wrote before, or wrote what you wrote before. That is interesting. Dude, that is so interesting. And you had not drawn her card before. That's really interesting. And you know what, I must have moved her, but I used to have Fortuna up near our desert cauldron stuff that we sell in our shops. Interesting. And actually, you know what, my best friend who was on here, I gave her my Fortuna statue. So, alrighty. All right, you guys, go ahead and get nice and cozy. And start bringing your awareness inside your body. If you want to close your eyes at this time, go right ahead. If you want to just do a little, that'd be good too. A little release. Let's release any tension we may be holding in our body at this time. Let's start, since you guys are water signs, let's imagine some water being poured over our head. And that water trickles down past our crown, and everywhere the water touches, we relax even more. So we feel the drips and the rushing water down our face, down our ears, our neck, just relaxing, down our shoulders, bringing them away from our ears. Feel the water rushing down our chest and our torso, down the arms, down the forearms, down the fingers. Everywhere that water is touching, we relax even more. We can feel the water splashing down onto our thighs and our knees. Feel the water rushing down your calves, ankles, your feet. And let's just sit in this relaxed stillness for just a moment. Water that you envisioned, how does it feel? Is it cool water? Is it warm water? Is it salt water? Is it fresh water? Do you envision a more magical water? Is it purple? Is it pink? Is it starry, sparkly? And as you sit with this beautiful watery relaxation feeling, bring your awareness to your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your chest as we sit with this water on our skin and the breath in our lungs. Nothing matters except this moment right now. You are present, you are here, you are anybody you want to be right now. And our next breath, we're going to take a nice deep breath. We're going to take a full inhale of that life-giving ka, our breath. We're going to breathe it into our lungs and into our diaphragm, into our stomach. We're going to let it fill us all up. So let's take a nice deep breath here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And let's exhale. Full exhale, belly button to your spine, ring it out. Exhale. And inhale again. Exhale. I want you to continue this slow rhythm of full inhale and full exhale, ringing it out. And now let's focus on intention. Think about the messages that you heard today. Which of them actually resonated with you? Which of them connected with you? And which of those do you want to bring into September? What do you want to work on? This is your choice, your freedom of choice, as it always is. And remember, even when we think we aren't making a choice, we're making a choice to let others choose for us. So what is your choice? And let's breathe that in. Breathe it in all the way into the lungs, all the way into the diaphragm, all the way into the stomach. Let it fill every muscle, every cell, every organism in your body. And when we exhale, we're going to release something. What is it that you would like to release for September? Breathe that all out, ring it out, get that belly button all the way to the spine until there's no air left in the body. And continue this visualization, breathing in what you want and exhaling what you want to let go of. And also recognizing that you are in the driver's seat. You have the power. You make the choice. And go ahead and ground and connect to your higher self in a way that feels good for you. Go ahead and bring your awareness back into your body. Go ahead and give yourself a little stretch. And if you want to wiggle your fingers and toes, go ahead and do so. If your eyes have been closed, and go ahead and open up your peepers again. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you guys enjoyed our live chat this evening. I thank you guys so much for joining me, hanging out, pulling cards, letting us know any intuitive hits that you guys are getting, sharing your stuff. I love it. This is why I love doing these live chats. So yeah, thank you, thank you. Let's see, let's go back here. I missed some of some of your messages here. Angela was saying that maybe she's reaching out to you. Yeah, Fortuna for sure. And Agnes said, La Fortuna is guiding me when you are not around. Nice. Angela said, I don't use this deck commonly, but I felt so drawn to grab them. So glad I did. I need to use them more. This was eye-opening for me. And this is welcome, Zanetta. All right. So like I said, I thank you guys. I hope you guys dug this. Catherine said, I hope Eve has a peaceful Mercury retrograde. And Zanetta said, thank you. So yes, yes. Hello, Zanetta. Sorry I missed your message way back here. But yeah. All right. So you guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'm wishing you an awesome September. And I would like to close up our circle now. So let's grab our little mosasaur tooth with Ethiopian opal that we had at the very beginning, and which, by the way, we have one mosasaur tooth left in Desert Cauldron. I don't really foresee myself going on any more archaeological digs to get more mosasaur teeth, so I don't think we're going to have any more in the shop. So that's literally the last one. So if you want to check out Desert Cauldron, the link is down below. The one in Desert Cauldron doesn't have an Ethiopian opal, but it does have a Mexican fire opal, so maybe if you want to check it out. And Angela said, I hope everyone has a peaceful retrograde. 2, I see retrograde as free energy. We can grab energy without direction. It is, of course, wild. Michelle says, thank you to all. And Angela said, perhaps grab that energy by its ear and say, you come here now and put it to work. I concur. I concur. All right, so let's close up this circle, thanking the elementals of the north who helped us to cast our circle today. Thank you, elementals of the west that helped us to cast our circle today. Thank you, elementals of the south who helped us to cast our circle today. And thank you, elementals of the east who helped us to cast our circle today. As above, so below, as within, so without, merry meet, merry part, merry we do and meet again. And so it is. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And I have my little candle here. Why don't you guys make a wish for September? Let me just, hold on, my candle dropped a little bit of wax, so it's a little stuck to its paper. But yeah, look at this thing, it's all bleedy. All right, you guys, make a wish for September. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. And so it is. All right, and I want to do a little bit of my gratitudes. So first of all, I want to thank everybody who is subscribed to my channel. If you aren't subscribed, go ahead and find that little subscribe button and click subscribe. If you want more videos like this, live chats, maybe some pre-recorded videos, I've been doing some channeling videos. If you guys want to check those out, click that notification bell to let you know as soon as a video posts, or to let you know that we have an upcoming live chat. We do have our weekly live chat coming up this Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then I'm going to finish the last 2 elemental zodiac readings for earth and for air next week, so before the 1st, basically. And by the way, don't forget the newsletter is coming out, so if you want to sign up for the newsletter, we are 300 strong. I don't play the spam game. All you get is a witchy newsletter with lots of good stuff in there. So the link for that is down below. Just head to my website and click newsletter, and you can sign up for that there. And I want to thank everybody who came into the chat, slunk some cards with us, had some fun with us, maybe left some comments. And also, A special thanks to my YouTube members. So I actually have some people that are celebrating some YouTube anniversaries. So Kayla, thank you so much. Heather is in her 2 months as a KWT member. Liesel is in month 3 and Susie is in month 2. So thank you, ladies. And to my lovely patrons. So we have Surian, we have Brandy, V, Samara, Kirsten, Kayla, Lily, Jason, Charles, Brian, Grace. Thank you all so very much for your support. And if you find that there's anybody who might want to watch this live chat that we've done this evening, maybe you know some water sign friends, go ahead and share it. So yeah, and if you dug today's live chat, don't forget to give a thumbs up. But thank you guys so much. Let me see, let me go back here. It says, thank you for letting me sling cards with you. I had fun. I love your readings. You're an amazing intuitive reader. Thank you. I always have so much fun here. Everyone is so nice. Love you all. You guys are nice. Catherine said, have a good September, everyone. All right, I will catch you guys later. Sumi said, school is out for summer. School's out forever. All right, peace, love, and chicken grease, you guys. Peace out. Bye, guys.